All right. Okay. Okay, class. So this week we're going to do 3 skills: changing a peripheral IV dressing, initiating intravenous therapy, and what's the third one? Adding medication to an IV fluid container. So let's start with changing peripheral intravenous dressing. So that means that there's already a IV in place. So the first thing you're going to do is perform your standard steps, of course. You're going to you're going to knock on the door, go into the room, wash your hands, ID your client with 3 identifiers: his name, his date of birth, and checking his ID band. You're going to look at the date and time that was on the dressing. We know that a dressing can stay in place for, that's right, 3 days, 72 hours. You're going to look at that dressing for any moisture. Is it infusing? Is it infiltrated? You're going to look at the site for any redness. You're going to check your IV for any kinks in the tubing. You're going to look all around the IV site, making sure that it doesn't have any redness in any area or warmth or coolness. So let's then go into our client's room. Gather our supplies. We have gloves. We're going to have a dressing, gauze, some tape. We need a pen, of course, because we're going to have to date our dressing. And we better take some hand sanitizer because there's none in that area. Okay, so we go into the room. We're going to take our equipment in. Kind of interesting over here. So we can get on the other side. Wash our hands. ID our client. Can you please tell me your name, date of birth? Maybe I'll turn it this way. Will that help? Is that better? Okay. Name, date of birth, checking his ID band, letting the client know that I'm going to be changing your IV dressing today. It's going to stay in place, but it's just, it's been in for 3 days, or let's say 2 days, and we're just going to change the dressing. Okay? The IV itself is going to stay intact. So what we're going to do is, we also take our client's temperature. Why do you think we take the client's temperature? To make sure that they're not septic, they don't have any fever going on. We're going to explain the procedure to the client, which we did. Let them know that we're just going to be doing a dressing change today. And then we're going to apply our gloves. Looking at the site, making sure it's flowing properly. Everything looks good. Okay. And did we get any alcohol? We did not. Should we have alcohol? So we're just going to remove the tape. I'm going to leave the piece of tape that's holding the IV tubing in place. And then we're going to remove the dressing. Away from the insertion site. One layer at a time. Excuse me. Okay, make sure you hold that IV in place. Juvederm dressing is stuck to it. There we go. Now his catheter is a little bit out of the skin. Hopefully the catheter is all the way in the skin, but we're not going to push it in at this time. Wherever you found it. Okay, so you're going to wipe away from, put it in place, away from. Horizontally, and then vertically. Oops. Vertically. And we're going to do the last one in a circular motion, going from inner to outer. Get also under and secure. Okay, and then we're going to allow that to air dry. And while that's air drying, I'm going to put a 2x2. Well, if I tape it stayed up on the arm, your IV wouldn't move. And I should have had this pulled off ahead of time. Make sure you do. Okay. On my IV, you're going to put a gauze underneath your site so that the hub is not digging into your client's hand. And tape that in place. Then you're going to put on your transparent dressing. Pull the back of it off. Or divide the two ends. Now, you can cover part of the angiocath hub, but not the connector. So I'm going to cover my hub, which is going to help hold it in place, but not my connector. Pull this off, secure it in place. Now, you could have put a Y piece around this to hold it in place, or you can use your transparent dressing. You can have just a gauze if you want, but you want to make sure that you secure it on all sides, so it's secure on all sides. It's secure here. I don't know what this extra piece of tape is for. Let's take that off. This skin doesn't stick very well. I don't know what is on his skin, but it's not sticking. As you see, that piece keeps coming off. Okay, then you're going to observe for any signs and symptoms of infection, which we did: tenderness, redness, swelling. We made sure that we secured our cannula. We cleaned the site. We did all of that. I'm just reading through the steps of what I did. We cleaned this insertion site horizontally, vertically, and then around in circles, making sure that it air dried. We taped and secured our catheter. We applied a dressing over it. I used a transparent, or you can do a gauze. Then you remove and discard your gloves. It says you can you can anchor the IV tubing with additional tape if necessary. When using transparent dressing, you're going to avoid taping over the dressing. So you don't want to then, sometimes you'll see nurses, they'll go and put more dressing all around the edge. But usually it's because the client has oily skin or something. They don't want their dressing to come off. Then you're going to place your date and time of your dressing on here. Not on there? On here? I can make another one. And include the size, the date and time. What's today? 11? 13. I don't know. I think it's about 12 o'clock. 12, we'll say 12:13 p.m. And my initials. And he has in a 20 gauge gel. I want to put it directly over the site. We're going to put it above the site. What's the last thing? Discard your equipment. I kind of threw everything away as I was going. Wash my hands. Make sure your IV is flowing. And again, you're going to come back and monitor your client's temperature. Document your results. That's it.